When networking, it's really important to develop strong habits. When you do, it can change your life for the better in a number of ways. Let's take a look. So Jim, I think that if you can schedule time regularly to do the business development, that's going to really help you in accomplishing some of the things that you want to accomplish. Why has that been a struggle for you in the last couple months since we started working together?
Yeah, I've just been, again, bogged down and busy with things, and I seem to develop bad habits.
Okay.
And, when, you've got the pressures of billing hours, and you've got the pressures of family and all that, it seems that, business development goes to the end of the list.
Right. I think that we can have or establish good habits or bad habits on business development, but maybe it would make sense to take a moment and just talk a little bit about how to develop a good habit. All right, and there's a book called The Power of Habit. I'll just share a little of the wisdom. There's a cycle with habits, and typically it starts with a cue, something that sets off a bad habit or a good habit, something then you have the actual habit itself, and then there's generally a reward at the end. I'll give you a quick example from my life, then I want to ask about any bad habits you have because that's interesting to me. So for years when I was younger, I bit my nails, and it's a terrible habit. Nobody wants to see that. However, when I felt a sharp edge on my nail, bang, it went into my mouth. So the cue for me with that bad habit was feeling a sharp edge on my nail. The finger goes in the mouth, that's the bad habit. The reward was a smooth nail. So that's a bad habit that I had. And just out of curiosity, is there a habit that you've sort of observed from yourself that has bothered you?
Not exercising.
Oh, not exercising,
yeah.
Okay.
So I've went through periods where I've exercised, and then I've went through periods where I haven't exercised, and I feel a lot better when I do exercise than when I don't exercise.
Okay, so exercise, nail biting, it's all about fixing the cue, the habit, and the reward, mainly the cue. So essentially what I was doing was feeling that sharp edge on my nail, and when the finger was going to go in the mouth, what I did was I put rubber bands around my wrist, and as soon as I saw the rubber band, I would snap it. And that was my cue to move past the habit, go get the nail clipper, and the reward was smooth nails, but doing it a different way. And I put nail clippers all over the place so that I wouldn't have to look for one too hard. So working out, same thing. Business development, same thing. We have to think about what the cue is. What's the cue that's going to help get you to the gym, or what's the cue that's going to help you to make the calls when you need to make the calls? What do you think would be a good example of a cue that would work for you?
I think inserting something like that into my calendar every morning. So the first thing I do when I come to work is my calendar comes up, I take a look at it, I see what I'm doing for the day. And if business development is the first thing I see in my calendar, I think that would be a good cue for me.
Okay. And then directly after you make your calls, how are you going to feel?
I'm going to feel good about myself.
Yeah, you're going to feel good the rest of the day because you got something done that wasn't easy and that that you needed to get done, but it usually falls to the wayside. So I think there's a couple things that'll benefit you. One is getting it done early, having the cue, and then I think you should come up with some reward for yourself at the end of each week. If you hit your goals as far as hitting those, making those calls, what do you think would be a good reward that you'd like to do at the end of each week?
Maybe treat myself to a nice dinner.
Treat yourself to a nice dinner, okay. You could also come up with a daily goal. If once you do your half hour, maybe then you have your coffee, or maybe that's when you have your breakfast, something to kind of reward yourself after you've made your calls. So I think that when you think about the cue, the habit, and the reward, we can stop bad habits this way, but we can also continue to have good habits by using the same platform. Does that all make sense?
It does.
Okay, cool.